Welcome. Hi, this is Carol from SkillCheck. And we've been doing some sort of different things lately. And this was one of those topics that we thought we could do less time and you could easily watch it at your leisure at the storage property. So I'm glad to have you here and listening to us. And if you have any more ideas for things you'd like us to talk about, let us know. Please, we'd like to be able to get some new topics or topics that you would like to hear. So let's talk about the importance of exterior maintenance, and you want to make sure that that curb appeal looks really nice and it looks welcoming and the signs are big enough that they can see. And again, some places, I know in Monterey, California, I had a heck of a time, which we had a sign about this size. It was very small and people went by it all the time. And I said, hey, tell them we have a very small sign, but if you've gone to this stoplight, it's too far. So we try to really help the customers get there and get there easily. But you want to make sure the landscaping looks good, that it looks like it's taken care of, because it does say something about your property, that you take good care of your property and the landscaping and everything about the storage property. And the signage should be really easy to read from a distance. You can't make it really small. And sometimes you don't even have control over that. But some of you that do, make sure it's big enough that people can see it. And many cities will tell you, oh, you can't have any sign bigger than this, dimensions of that. And that's fine too. But you try to maximize whatever you have and make sure it's in colors that they can see. And it's really attractive. One of the things that I think is, when the spring comes along, you want to start cleaning and essentials, for the exterior things. I think you should power wash. I know some of you have power washes and that you can clean it up with that, because you get oils on the ground, you get spots or things that people spill. I know, sometimes ice cream or something. I'm like, what is that? Oh, that was ice cream. Some kind of kid or somebody had an ice cream there, and then it got hard, and it was a little harder to get off. But it really does revitalize your property's appearance if you wash things down, and many of you do it with a hose. Remove any kind of dirt or grime that has gotten onto the area that the customers are going to walk around. And don't forget to refresh your landscaping. It's such a good idea to, put flowers out or put color, some kind of color. And then that way it really makes it more attractive to the eye and the customer coming in. And remember, you got to get things, the bushes trimmed, the weeds removed, and mulch things. Try to make your landscaping look great and inviting. The other thing is cleaning and repainting the curbs. I love to paint the curbs, but the landscaping is important, and the curb appeal. If you can paint them, it's a great way to do it. And say, you'll see us. We've got the come in bright yellow when we get there, or whatever it is your colors are that you put on the curbs. I think when you're talking about the entire property, you want to make sure even the area where you have trash, remove it and get it out of there, and debris. Try to pick up all of that stuff every single day. You really, at some big properties, you can't go a day with, in fact, multiple times out on the property where you could go and pick stuff up. And I just go in the golf cart and I have a bag, or, sometimes we have a big trash can on our maintenance cart that we can put that in. But it's really important to keep all the hallways clean, exterior, you're looking at the fencing. But the other thing is, when you go around the property, check for the lighting, not only on the outside of the property, but inside hallways if you have them. It's really important that you get that fixed and make sure that there's always light, because especially if you only light the hallways and not inside the units, for the inside units, you want to make sure that you have enough lighting, because otherwise it does, if you don't fix the burnt out bulbs, then that's very important for the customer to be able to see, and they do complain. So don't forget that hallway lighting and the outside lighting is really important to watch, to see that when, especially some lights are out. The other thing that I always worry about is those keypad entry and exit gates that you have. You want to make sure that those are cleaned. And I mean every day, because lots of people are touching them. And I could see this one here. It's kind of grimy. I would be like, oh boy, do I have something here I can push that with? It doesn't have to be my finger. Or I've used my knuckle before. No kidding. Where it's like, okay, well, I don't want to touch it with my finger, but I want to try my knuckle to figure it out. But you want to make sure you go several times out during the day and just look to see if it's dirty or messy. And sometimes you'll have workers come in and then they've got stuff on their hands and then it gets on there, and it just needs to be wiped off and cleaned on a regular basis. But again, another thing to think about is the gate operator and the gate mechanisms. But you want to make sure that, you're inspecting the gate, looking for wear and damage, lubricating the moving parts, the hinges and rollers to prevent any rust and ensure that it works really well. And I would also say, my managers know how to do a few things, and we would teach them how to do that. But hiring a gate company to do it, and come in like quarterly or monthly, that we had people that we just hired in each location to do that, because it's just easier, because you want them to look at the components, the sensors, the motors and everything. And they'll just clear out the debris too. If you see there and something out there, go clean it out and make sure it's not moving when it's happening, but you want to avoid any jams. Your staff should understand proper usage of the maintenance procedures and to prevent misuse. If you want to get in touch with me, mine's Carol@skillcheck.com, or if you have some kind of topic that you would like us to tackle, let us know. We'll be happy to do that. And I really appreciate all of you listening, because we have so many people that have given to, helpful information, and the manager's input is really important to us, and supervisors and owners. But I really think the managers say, hey, could you do a webinar on this or that? And we do, because we want to, please and keep people happy. So happy renting, and hope you enjoy us. But if you need to see me or call me or get something to me, it's Carol@skillcheck.com. Happy renting.